And we're good to go.
All right, good. Yo, it is another edition of the High Hopes Podcast, sponsored by Miller Lite, official sponsor of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller time, Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly. 34-14, man. And by the way, how about that sweet new intro song? Shout out to Tim Hawes, local artist, musical artist, part of a band.
Listener of the pod.
Listener of the pod.
So,
and now that's awesome. Like, how cool is that?
So listen, I've been wanting a High Hopes intro for a while.
You've been jealous of the Go Birds one, let's be honest.
I've been jealous
You
of that
have.
one.
It's okay. It slaps. And now we got our own that slaps.
I've been jealous of a lot of the Rights Ricky Sanchez ones over the
Sure.
years.
Oh, yeah, the Amos Lee, the whole thing.
So thankfully Tim came through for us. He's a
Thank God.
big pod listener. He already apologized. He was going to be at O'Neill's on last Thursday, but he had to fly to Nashville to record an album or something.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
he
okay.
was a
Like,
little
that's
busy.
more important. I get it. No big deal.
Already questioning his dedication to the pod,
Yeah.
but we're excited to have Tim aboard. And
Shout out to Tim.
yeah.
And shout out to O'Neill. Shout out to Spoonie, the owner. Had a great time chatting up with Spoonie. He's a character. Awesome guy. We had a great time.
A lot
to
of
give
characters at
A
O'Neill's.
lot of characters at O'Neill's.
Some people didn't understand the rules.
Yes. It was
Which-
a whole, don't yell the answer out for trivia. And then same guy yelled it out multiple times.
And I'm not going to accuse anyone of maybe having one or two beers.
Oh, I will. Try 200. I think we met one dude who
Yeah, it was hard to understand.
was unintelligible. It was like the impression was like, well,
yeah.
it's kind of what it sounded.
And I don't think I think there's one thing that we've learned about you over the years is can't handle much. When it comes to things not going in a certain way.
Is that true?
Yeah, and
I didn't know we had learned that about me.
And this guy repeatedly interrupting the questions.
Yeah.
I could just because there's Seltzer's obviously a very nice guy. If you've met James Seltzer, oh my God, he's so nice. But there's also that fire in the eyes.
Yeah, I can turn on you like
that.
that.
Yeah. Don't make him go from
I was ready to turn on that guy in the bar. I was about to jump across the bar.
Don't
and
make
get
him go
into
from
it.
Charlie Day to Chuck Day. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You ain't wrong.
But
The Phils.
look at this Phil's baseball.
Phils.
The Phils.
So how do we even talk about it? I mean, won like every game since we did the last pod. They even went that game on Saturday. That wasn't even the Phillies always lose that game. That was everybody loses that game. You just lose certain types of baseball games. That was just a game that you lose, and that's kept going up. It was just all right, we're not winning today. And Cody Clemens, and then they find it it does feel like they take it personally when they are losing. And they're like, we're not gonna have this.
And the most evident of that was, what was it, 2 weeks ago they lost to the Marlins, I believe, and Schwarber after the game was like, there's no one happy in here.
Yeah.
We don't care that we just got done winning. Now, I was thrilled because I didn't want to run 8 miles in the morning. but they'd won 7 straight, and they lost, and he's like, there's no one happy in here. And it just shows the
mentality,
the different level of locked-inness that this team kind of has. And I think they've took them the last two years personally when it comes to the regular seasons because they haven't been viewed as one of the best teams in baseball, regardless of what has happened in 22 postseason and 23 postseason.
They're playoff a team that got hot, a team that played well in the playoffs.
You could say fluky. You could say how can you really bank on them?
People did say. The fact that their number was 89.5 again this year coming into it showed that it was everyone was like that. That's what people expected from this team.
Been saying it for years. Vegas. Bunch of morons.
Let's bury Vegas. We've been saying this for years.
Shocking they're even still in business, frankly. Yeah, shocking they're still in business.
So he's going to go to college. Thank you, Vegas.
For that $10 over you took.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, buddy.
It's good. But, dude.
Over and, I did bet on him to win the division. Just saying.
You know what would have helped Zoe actually go to college?
Well, what's that?
If you took Ranger Suarez as Cy Young odds before the year.
I know. I should have.
Plus 13,000.
Wow.
100 would have won 13. Great.
Wow. Can you imagine?
My buddy has it. My buddy has
100.
I don't think he has 100 on it, but he's got enough to where
10 to win 1,300 or one of those crazy ones. That'd be
seems nice.
Pretty sick. Yeah.
Seems pretty nice to have. But yeah, they just they've figured out different ways to win. And sure, the schedule, and I understand the schedule, and I'm sure we'll get into all, oh my God, like have they beaten anyone? Meanwhile,
it's my least favorite thing going. If we could talk about all the discussions that are being had, it's my number one least favorite.
It is quite annoying.
It's baseball. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here?
It's baseball, and there's just not that many good teams.
There are 5 teams in the National League above 500. Sorry, what do you want them to do? Like, and they're throttling teams.
I know. That's the key. That's the key. They are winning almost all the games.
Yeah.
Almost all the games. So
they're winning almost all the games. Especially when you think about what they start like 5-5 or whatever it was. Since then what would that be? So they started 5-5. So that means they're 29-9 since then. I mean,
they are
a juggernaut.
I think they're like 27-6 or 28-6. Since Howard and Thompson got into it about if this team's going to slug or not.
Oh, yeah. They'll slug. Slug life.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's just, and we talked about this last podcast, like this is the exact start that you were hoping for when it was like, well, what upgrades did they make in the offseason? And you're banking on the internal fortitude of those guys pulling together and being mad about what happened at the end of last year. But it's just so funny. It's like, yesterday, Winker hit that home run to give the Nationals the lead. And I was just emotionless. I was like, they're gonna come back and win,
and and they made it not even a question.
Yeah,
it was they're down 3-2, and was it the 6th? It's like, they're gonna win. And they went 11-3. Like it wasn't just like they won. They poured it on. Oh, I forgot.
Spencer Turnbull did affect.
You're
the
right.
Run
You're right. Checked out on that. Yep. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like it's just It's wild to watch, man. It really is. And not just that, to your point. You know what it is? That's such a good point by you. It's wild to feel. It's one thing to watch it. It's another thing to actually feel in the moment like they're going to score. They're going to win. They got this because it feels so different from what we normally feel.
And I believe we've also talked about this, but like I felt it yesterday. I felt it for a little while now. Like, I just need them to get it done this year. Like, I know. Like, I am trying my best to live in the moment, and I'm not good at it. But it's just every time I watch them, I'm like, this is great. This is great. This is great. But, like, I know how it goes if things don't turn out the way they should in the postseason. Like, everything, you could win 140 games. It doesn't matter if you don't get it done in the postseason. And, like, that's currently where I'm at.
Such a bummer right
now.
I
I know. They're so good.
I'm actually really enjoying. I'm in the moment with this. Like
I'm enjoying
it.
It's like
I've never seen this. Like, what is this?
Well,
team?
the last
93.
Yeah.
I was a kid. Like, and I remember that. But I was 12. Like, I'm not like my perspective on the world has changed a lot. Like, this is I'm really enjoying it for what it is. Now, you're right. The memories of it, the whole thing, it all hinges on winning it all. Like, it just does. It's a fact of what it is. But I am surprised how in it I am.
know.
Because I'm with you. Because I thought I was going to be that guy. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just get the playoffs. Like, it feels special in the moment. It feels like I'm watching something I've never seen before. It's really cool.
I know. I think I'm just so born out of the fear of this not going.
I know. Because it ruins everything. They go win 110 games and have the best Phillies season we've ever seen. And they lose in the playoffs, and it's like meaningless. It's like ruined.
Like think about the 11 team, right? Like the 11 team wins 102 games, but they lose the last 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
They lose in the first round, and all everyone brings up is Cliff Lee belong to 4-0 lead.
Yeah, and Chris Carpenter, and that's all you talk about. Yeah.
So it like completely erased away what was a magical season, and I cannot let that happen to this team. I can't let it happen.
It's such a good point.
I can't let it happen. So like I am thrilled. Every single game is like.
So instead, you're not going to enjoy the 100
because
win part.
I lived through 11. And it's just like
there's something antithetical in here. There's something missing, and I'm with you.
Again, I was built for the 2018 Phillies.
Yes.
2017 Phillies.
Yes, you were. 2018 too good. 2017.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So, they're just a wagon.
All right, they are a wagon. They are like a wagon. Do you know they weren't 20 games over 500 ever last season? At no point did they.
I thought they got there in September.
I'm pretty sure they did. Now they might have. I stopped looking actually. So like,
no, they got there in September. They said it after the game.
Okay.
This is the first time I think in 13 years it's been this early.
Yeah. I mean, they're 5 games on the Braves, which I think is the first time that's happened in 13 years or something like that. I mean, like the whole thing is just nuts. But let's talk about the single most important thing going on with the team right now. what are they going to do when Trey comes back? Cody Clemens is a major league player, buddy. Like, seriously, that is such a sign of where we're at. Like, that is the biggest question right now at the Phillies is what are they going to do with the too many guys who are good, who are major league players on their roster? You know, like that's where we're at. That's how good this team has been.
And it seems like Trey's going to be back pretty fast.
That's my point. But this is going to be an issue quicker than we think. And, like, it's like Clemens or Pache, probably right, but Pache has no options. Cody Clemens, like, does the city riot if they send that guy down right now? Like, what do we do? Like, he has been awesome. And not just that. Like, I didn't even know the guy could pick it. Like, he's freaking making plays at second base. Like, this Cody Clemens thing, I thought he was a nice player. He has been phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, he also, I mean, he did do this last year.
He did.
He did.
Not the, 2 outs in the 9th, tie it up, let's go.
Cody, he kind of seemed,
he's got a little clutch gene.
Yeah, he does. Did you see my nickname for him?
Oh, yeah, I did. Very clever.
The Rocket?
Yeah, it's original.
There was the broadcast did do the missile, which isn't terrible.
Well, yeah, but here it's a copycat thing. Like, that's the only issue is that when Rocket Ishmael, then they called Kadri Ishmael the missile, and it's like we're just redoing that whole thing.
So Cody Clemens feels like a Brewer or a Ray.
Oh, you think they're gonna trade him? You think it's a DFA trade situation?
I just don't know. Like, where's he gonna play?
Well, Pache. So you would not get rid of Pache to keep Clemens on the roster?
Well, why not send down Rojas?
Well, that's the other option, but I just don't.
I know
they play Rojas so much. I don't think they would. I think from a roster management perspective, that probably is the smartest move. I think your best situation, but Rojas is their center fielder.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's probably going to end in them just sending him down.
I know. It's probably going to be Clemens going down.
Like, thank you for what you've done.
Awesome for us, but bye-bye.
And I don't think they're at the point yet where they would DFA Witt. I mean,
no, there's no chance. Not yet.
I would be very surprised.
I mean, that is the meritocracy-wise. Those other guys have earned it more than Witt so far. But I mean, it's not like Pache's been great, but they've earned it more.
Well,
I mean, but that will never happen. And never 0% chance.
And the truth of the matter is that they're 20 games over 500.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So
that's why I said the biggest issue with the team is the 26th man. Yeah, I know.
They have plenty of time to where, like, if it gets to a DD situation like in 22 or a Odubel situation like in 22, where it's like, okay, Whit Merrifield, we're more than halfway through the year. He hasn't gotten it going. We'll DFA him for Cody Clemens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think Cody Clemens, I think he understands where he's at in terms of the organization. But yeah, it's just so funny. Like, there's 20 games over, and like, what have they gotten out of their outfield? I mean, like, two of the spots are just
holes.
Yeah, I mean, Marsh had a really good start to the year. He's starting to pick back up. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but you're right though. Like, if you want to say, like, for the last 3 weeks, they might have the worst hitting outfield of baseball.
It's just like,
seriously,
it just doesn't matter. But and
such a great point there,
because
I know I didn't think about it in that like framing. Like, you're absolutely right.
2/3 of the outfield largely has been almost non-existent.
And the other one's Brandon Marsh. The other one can't face lefties.
Yeah. So and I'm sure you've gotten to this too, in like, DMs or tweets or whatever. I know you don't.
What are those?
DMs. I know. But it's like, well, what can they do about Castellanos? And it's like, they're 20 games over 500. Like, any move with Castellanos, even at the deadline, like, I think they are in such a groove as a team, and the vibe around the team is so good. Like, it's not even worth moving on from Castellanos at the deadline, even if he's batting 190.
Yeah.
Like, because of what this whole kind of clubhouse kind of feel is. It's
what we always talk about, right? Don't look at the numbers, look at the vibes, man.
That's what Dabrowski brought to this organization. That's what he brought to this team. Strictly
all
vibes.
These other teams, the binders and the analytics. Vibes, buddy.
Yeah,
vibes.
X vibes. Yeah, whatever. I think that's what we expected vibes is what this team. That's expected vibes. Yeah, expected vibes. But it's true. Like, it's like, sure, they can find marginal upgrades, I'm sure, elsewhere, but you can't screw up. You can't screw up what this team has right now. It matters too much. And Castellanos, I think, is a real important piece here for building this clubhouse culture.
Clearly, these guys love him. They all love the guy. Like, there's no arguing that. There's something about him where he's like this figure in that locker room where he just matters. There's no way around it, But all right, let me spin it on you and doing what you just talked about before, because they're 20 games above 500. It's great. They keep winning. They'll probably keep winning no matter what they do with Castellanos. Nick Castellanos is up in a big spot in the playoffs.
Mm-mm.
But
No, no,
siree. That's where
I know, dude. I'm with you, man. Like I'm totally with you. But they're like, I mean, would you take a 10-game losing streak to?
No, yeah, it's a good point though. You're right.
Kidding. You can't. Like you can't do it.
I know.
Like So I've been obviously thinking a lot about the trade deadline, and it's like, which would I rather this team go get? Another bat in the outfield or a right-handed bullpen option? I mean, the reality is it could be both. But like, what's your push your chips in move? And it kind of still feels like they're in the right-handed bullpen mode.
Yeah.
Even though, like, again, they're not getting that much out of the outfield right
now. Yeah, and everyone in the bullpen's been good. It's like even Sir Anthony is starting to look pretty solid in low leverage spots, but
one member of this podcast.
Yeah. I'm not.
I came into the safe space.
Yeah.
Said if I tweet this out, I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
If I say it on WIP, I'm gonna be labeled as a blind homer.
Yeah.
And while it has not been as locked down,
no,
as a no earned runs would suggest, it's been pretty good.
He's been better.
He's been pretty good. Kirkering's the one for me where like he's good. Like it's there. There's times where I can feel teams just sitting on the sweeper to where I think about, like, is this something that's going to work in the postseason?
Yeah.
Like there was a Lindor at bat in the Mets series where I think he hit it like 110 miles an hour. But it was just right at the second baseman. It's just like, that's my biggest fear with Kirkering is that he leaves that sweeper up just a little bit because that fastball is just, and I think there's no better example of the difference between a heavy fastball at 98 and like a two-seamer at 98 than like Kirkering versus Wheeler.
Oh my God.
Whereas Wheeler is like heavy, and Kirkering's is like I don't know. It's not a very heavy 97. Like there's a difference in their fastballs. It's just interesting. But yeah, it's just every one of the bullpens kind of figured it out. And I know what it was like a month ago they had the worst bullpen ERA in baseball, and now I believe it's like 1.8 since. So just don't worry too much.
Yeah, I know. Again, but to your point, and again, I have really been in the moment. But those are the things you look at for the playoffs. You're like, all right, do I trust if Gregory Soto has to come to a playoff game? Do I trust if Sir Anthony has to come to a playoff game? Do I trust Whit Merrifield to get a big at bat in a playoff game? Like, these are the things that we got to talk about. You know what I mean? That's to the point of the trade deadline. You're the one thinking about the trade deadline. Those are the questions that Dave Dombrowski has to answer. He has to say, all right, if it's a big playoff game and Nick Castellanos is up, like, do I trust him to come through? That's what's going to matter.
Well, if Dave could, I would call Steve Pearce out of retirement.
Bring Pearce back.
Bring back Steve Pearce. World Series MVP.
Yes.
Steve Pearce. Bigger shock as an MVP of a Super Bowl / World Series, Deion Branch or Steve Pearce?
That's a great one. Yeah, probably Steve Pearce, actually.
Well, at least people know who Deion Branch is.
Yeah, Deion Branch is like an NFL player. I mean, Steve Pearce is out of nowhere.
It's an unbelievable trade.
Yeah.
Unbelievable trade. But, yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff all matters. And he's obviously not been what we thought. Like, he had a moment there for like a week and a half where it's like, oh, there he is with Merrifield. I still believe in him.
I'm not out on Whit Merrifield at all. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, it's too big of a history of solid production for me to just be out. But look, I will say, changing roles, and now he's played a lot, so it's kind of but like it is tough to go from being an everyday guy to someone who's filling in here and taking this spot and not getting everyday at bats and all that. And maybe it's just an adjustment period for him. I mean, you're a ball player. You'd be able to speak to that.
Yeah,
you know?
let me tell you about all that kind of stuff.
You know what it's like to sit on the bench and then have to get called in the action, minus the action part. I mean, you know what that takes.
I know far too well about sitting on the bench. Well, I was actually going to bring it up about Spencer Turnbull. Like, it is hard going from a starter to be like, go be the mop-up
guy.
pitch
the ninth inning at an 11-3
game.
Yeah,
man. Like,
it sucks.
Dude, Spencer Turnbull was pitching to a 1-6 for like 8 starts to start the year. And now it's like, hey, 11-3 against the Nationals.
Yeah, don't give up 8 runs.
Go get your work
in.
in.
Go get your work in. Exactly.
It's like, wow, this stinks.
Yeah,
man.
it does.
Especially because it's on a 1-year, $2 million deal. Like, I'm sure someone will give him a chance after
this.
this.
Yeah, but still, you're right. He's got a lot more to pitch for than, Taijuan Walker has already got his money in the bank, just chilling,
That toe injury.
Oh, poor little guy. Yeah, he hurt his foot.
Yeah, he'll be back out.
No, sadly, yes. Yeah. Look, he's not been horrible.
He's been fine.
Fine.
Although
But Turnbull's better.
It did seem like it was trending towards like a
I think if he had not if he had not gotten hit in the foot, that game was spiraling. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
They're too good.
Yeah, that's I don't even know what to say.
They did lose on high hopes night, which is
so unfair. It's like the only loss of the week.
Yep.
Of course they would lose on high hopes night. Why wouldn't they?
And had they lost that way a year ago or 2 years ago, I mean, you're not sleeping. You know, that night they lost. It was like
it was fine. You didn't even make it to the end. Let's be honest.
I know.
Someone else did. Mister wakes up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
There till the end.
Yeah.
Toughed it out.
You're such a warrior.
I know.
Such a warrior.
I had to rip you for it, though.
Yeah. I know.
It was a Walker thing.
Yeah.
So I like it. He's fine.
He's fine.
The Pedialyte worked out.
Well, I was sprinting through the city because stores were closing at 10, and I left at 9:52.
Go get Pedialyte.
So I was sprinting through the city, and I even got the wrong Pedialyte.
No.
I got Pedialyte Sport.
No.
Yeah,
for your sport.
Yeah.
You ever call him Sport? You're like, what up there, Sport?
I don't think sport's in the
No. You don't think so?
No, I think sport's done.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tiger.
Killer?
You go Killer?
No, I don't.
Wow, what up there, Killer?
Well,
Whoa!
in baseball terms, you know.
Do you have any little, Chief or
Nah,
Boss or Haas or any of that stuff you throw at him?
I'll
I'll call Zoe Buddy every once in a while, and she'll go, "I'm not a buddy." I'm like, "That's okay."
Well, I call him Buddy. I call him Bubba.
Bubba's good. Emily likes to call me Bubba.
Yeah. So I call him Bubba.
Yeah.
But I'm a nicknamesman.
I know, that's why I asked you. I was wondering where you went. I'm actually a little disappointed in the answer.
Well, it's always Buddy. He's my little buddy.
Aw.
And then it's I would say Bubba. I would say there's
Bubba's
one
good.
Yeah.
I never say Bubba.
Plus, he's a big kid. Man.
I get called Bubba. I just don't say it. It's good. Bubba's
Yeah,
good.
but you don't give off a Bubba vibe.
You wouldn't think.
I
Then
I
I
don't
get called
think so at all.
Bubba, and then it's like
Bubs?
Yeah, you're
You should
damn
go
right.
Bubs
Bubs.
with you?
Bubs.
Bubs.
My buddy's grandmother used to be Bubs. We call her Bubs.
It's not a bad
What up,
grandma
Bubs?
name.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
By the way, no one's named grandmom anymore.
Oh, I know.
Or grandmother.
Well, so that's what's funny is Emily's dad wanted to go by granddad, and I was like, does he really want to go by
What a
granddad?
loser.
So yeah, so he has granddad. It's like, wow,
That's what I
weird.
called my grandparents.
Yeah, I call my grandfather Pop.
Yeah, well, Pop's a classic.
Pop's a
Pop's
classic.
a classic. But yeah,
Pop
it's like
and Nana, May on the other side, bang. And my other.
I think
grandfather's
Mimi
dead.
is number one now.
Mimi's great. Well, my mom goes by Mimi.
Oh,
Mimi's great.
yeah, because
Mimi's go-to.
these grandmothers today, they don't want to think they're old.
That's definitely
So
true.
that's the number one reason why they don't go by.
That's a
grandmother
great point.
anymore.
You're right. You're like, I'm not a grandmother. Yeah, you're a grandmother.
You're a grandmother.
Factually speaking.
Start acting like it.
Start
Well, my
acting like it.
my brother-in-law's dad goes by Grand Dude, which is
Not a fan of that.
big old swing and a miss.
Yeah, that's like a giant
Like
swing.
trying too hard.
Way too hard. I mean, that honestly, like,
Or you could take my
someone needs to get to him and say, bro, you can't do
you
that.
could take my dad's approach. My dad's approach is
Just call me Ross. Or
no.
something.
He said he's like whatever he ends up calling me.
I know. I knew it was gonna be something like that. Like,
What does that mean?
Just call me Ross or something. Like, I was expecting something
So
along
I'm like
those
bullying him into going by Pop Pop.
Pop Pop's great.
Yeah, you're going by Pop Pop.
What's
Pop?
Jill? Okay, Pop.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're gonna go Pop and Pop? That's an aggressive.
I'm
move,
not
man.
letting him take Pop. Like Pop's too good. Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Little friction there with the father-in-law.
No friction. No friction.
Little friction.
But
Oh, yeah.
Pop's too good. And I think Pop. I'm just gonna go by Pop
I
Pop.
like that. That would be a little confusing for your kid, but
Don't care.
So Pop or Pop Pop? Pop. Wait, which one? Pop or Pop Pop?
He'll figure it out.
I know.
His team's too good.
I know. We're sitting here talking about Walker. I don't even know what to say.
His team's
What
too
do you
good.
got? I'll tell you something that I've noticed. I really enjoy just watching Edmundo Sosa. I feel like he brings such joy to a baseball field. We always talk about like they're playing a game and can't they look like they're having fun? And how many years do we sit here and say like how horrible is it to watch them look like they're in a morgue every night? Like how they don't. Now we get to watch it. They're having fun. They're having fun the whole time. And Edmundo Sosa, like, does that guy ever not smile? Is he ever not happy? I love the joy that guy brings to a baseball game.
Yeah, and he's done. I mean, it also helps. He has like an 1100
He's been
OPS.
phenomenal.
Since
Yeah,
Trey
don't
went
get me
down.
wrong, but yeah, I love the way he goes about his business.
Think about this. Edmundo Sosa's been so good that people are, other way around. Cody Clemens has been so good that people are like, Edmundo's out of the lineup even though he's batting like 333.
I know,
It's like,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because also Stott's been on a heater.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting about the lineup is they've been producing at it. I think they have the most runs in baseball as of right now.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So they have the most runs in baseball. And it really doesn't feel like we've had
At all.
At all what?
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Where am I going?
It doesn't feel like we've had a lot of like offensive explosion. It doesn't feel like it's like a super juggernaut offensive line.
Not where I was going.
Yes. So close.
It may have been where I was going, but now I'm changing it up because you thought you knew me better than I know me.
I did. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But they've done all this offensive stuff without like that 2-week Harper stretch, or like, and Schwarber's been good.
Yeah, Schwarber has not gotten going at all, really.
And it's like not even the power department. I mean, he's got like 9.
9.
Grow up, kid.
Yeah,
Too many singles. But like, it's just they're the ultimate example of like one guy just going like Harper's had games, right? Like he had 3 hits yesterday. He's had the grand slam. Like he's had these games, but it hasn't been okay. There's the 2-week Harper like 5 home run stretch.
No.
Schwarber's been just pretty good, but
That's
not
been
like
the Stott stretch.
It's been Stott. It's been Bohm. JT's been really good.
It's
in the
been
duel.
guys like Sosa and Clemens coming in.
Sosa, Clemens, like it's all, and sometimes Castellanos, but it's really just been the collection of the team versus. And this is my big fear at the beginning of the year. It was like they feel top heavy. Like they feel like if Schwarber, Turner, and Harper aren't hitting, then the offense just isn't that great. It's completely flipped on its head now, where it's like everyone's kind of doing their part every single day, to where it's like it's not just those top guys at the top of the lineup. Bohm, he looked like he tweaked his hip about a week and a half ago. Right back into doubles. I mean, he's leading the league in doubles, leading the league in RBIs.
Leading the league in RBIs.
And then that home run yesterday. I mean,
it was great.
If I could just get that once a week.
I mean, that was really pretty. Like, that was like, wow, look at that. That is majestic looking.
I've become like
the swing, the whole thing.
It's not that I've become numb to home runs, but I don't like watch them over and over and again that much, unless it's Aiden. Naturally. But I watched that Bohm home run like 30 times.
Wow.
Because you know what it reminded me of? And I don't know if you know this highlight. You probably do, because you're like a 90s baseball fan. Do you remember that home run that Galarraga hit down in like Marlin Stadium, like old Marlin Stadium? They went like 500 feet.
The big cat?
The big cat. It was similar to that, like the similar like bat drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you.
The big cat could hit.
He could.
Like 370 one year.
Yeah, dude. Some of the numbers.
Oh, it's so silly. Go, just look at the Rockies lineup. Like some of those numbers are.
And like trying to comprehend Ryan Howard in like 06 hour. Like I lived it. I watched it.
Yeah, 306.58. It's like what?
Bohm is on pace for 140 RBI.
Which is nuts.
It'd be cool to see one of those years.
Yeah, one of those years. Crazy to think that Hack Wilson had 191. What
a hack.
What a hack. What a hack. Yeah, I'm with you though. It's and you know what else this team does? And again, I don't have numbers to back it up, so purely going with feel here.
Yeah, well we don't do numbers.
We're an eye test pod. It feels like they're like runner on third, less than 2 outs. I feel like that guy's gonna score. Like I feel like they're finding ways to get runs home, to whether it's move runners over, whatever it is. They're not making the stupid mistakes they made the first week and a half of the season on the bases. Like, we'll still see some throwout, except when they had the 2 in the Mets game. Yep, JT, and that was explainable. Maybe you have some symbols if you got someone when Schwarber's on your team. Maybe you have a like follow my left hand for the guy behind, follow my right hand and the guy in front. Whatever, maybe figure that out, Dusty and
a total vet move by Thompson post game saying, "Well, we don't want JT stopping suddenly." I can't have that happen.
Strong.
Yeah, it's just a pro.
Yeah. I mean, it tried to stop him, but no, no.
At that point, you just let him go.
Yeah,
we'll take. And what if Rob was like, "You seen our record?
Come on.
This doesn't." What if Rob Thompson post game is just like,
"We didn't need the run."
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Like if they
we're just like, we didn't need the run. We're up 5-2. You think we need another run?
Yeah.
We're not gonna give him more.
They lose a game. And he's like, it's all right.
He's like, what about this? He's like, listen, guys, felt like we needed a loss, so kind of managed that way today.
I wonder what.
There's a little too many wins here. I need to knock him down a little bit, so he took a loss.
I wonder if we're ever gonna get to the point of peaking too early talk.
Oh, I'm shocked it hasn't been. So the two things that I'm like, and the schedule thing is starting to happen now. It's like yesterday, as I'm starting to see the only 3 games against 2 teams with winning. I think the Padres now we get the winning record. I think they're at 500 now.
Yeah,
so at 500. Thrilling stuff.
We haven't played anyone.
That's right. But now people are starting to talk about. I am shocked that the schedule, the lack of winning teams, and that the peaking too early has not been like the predominant conversation that's being had.
No, it's but like there are things that I felt. Yeah. Like they're really good. They're really good. But it's just
it's early. It's early.
I can't keep coming back.
It's early.
And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to sit everyone and go on like a 5-game losing streak and then get the bounce back in the world? They probably won't even lose 5 straight. I need them to get it done.
With this pitching staff, it feels like losing streak proof. It's like, how are you really gonna have?
Setting
think about it. Knock on wood. Like, how many bad starts in a row is Wheeler gonna have? How many bad starts in a row is Ranger gonna have? How many bad starts in a row is Nola gonna have? I mean, Nola. That's the thing. We're talking about Wheeler and Ranger as Cy Young and all. We should. If you take out first of all, Nola with the first start of the season, 6-2 with a 3.05 ERA. So like, great year. Mm-hmm. Take out that first start, he's got a 2.37 ERA. Like, Aaron Nola's pitching at a Cy Young level essentially, or like close to no one's Ranger. But he's like, without that first start, Aaron Nola's 6-1 with a 2.37 ERA. Pretty freaking good.
Well, he's probably not going to be
pretty good.
He's probably not going to
make the All-Star team because they got the other guys. Like, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, he's not going to make our top 11 Philly athlete list that we have going right now.
Probably not.
Which is like, Ranger's going to make it, and I love Ranger. But
is that fair? Is that right?
Look at the body of work.
Yeah, like, it feels like it should be Nola over Ranger.
Yeah, it feels a bit living in the moment.
Yeah.
But like, Ranger's ridiculous, so whatever. And maybe I guess it's like feel going forward too. It's just Noel's been really good, and he was really good yesterday. Like, he's done a better job this year of keeping everything down.
Unbelievably better. And also what that has resulted in that, and also obviously the pitch clock and the whole thing that he started with last year, he's clearly figured out a way to not let it spiral on. And just in general, like the homers, first of all, it's a lot more solo and 2-run shots than 3 and more. And also, he's not like giving up that other one. He would give up a homer and then he would spiral and give up more runs and it would fall apart. Like, he's like, if he does give up a homer, if he makes a mistake, he just bears down and gets more outs. That's been the most impressive thing.
Yeah, and there's a couple things about Nola that I love is that he talked after the complete game shutout about how like we as a starting staff are putting it on our shoulders that we want to go as deep into games as possible so we can save our bullpen for October when we know it matters. And like, awesome. I just love that mentality.
Love it.
And everyone on the starting staff is just doing their job from that standpoint. Also, that he's brought back the slide step, which I appreciate. It's because it's hard to like maintain your velocity.
Well, he talked about when he was on with us on Friday. He's like, I hadn't had a slide step since like 2018 or 2017 or whatever. Yeah.
But it makes it look. He looks pretty free flowy out there with the slide step. And it's helped with keeping runners on first base and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think he's kept everything down the zone, which is good. Like whenever it gets lifted up a little bit, it does get ripped into the to the seats sometimes. Mm-hmm. But he's just been a monster from that standpoint.
Well, even the homer he gave up yesterday, I mean, that was like a barely over the. I mean, it was like a really high fly ball that just had enough.
Jesse Winker acts like every ball he hits in the air.
I know.
700 feet. So, but yeah, Noel's been good from that standpoint. Wheeler on Saturday, it was good to see an uptick in the velo. Was that Friday or Saturday?
It was.
I keep mixing those two up.
So we had our event Thursday with Taiwan, so it would have been Saturday, right? Because then Sanchez was Friday. Sanchez? No, I'm right. Yeah, Sanchez was. Wait, no, maybe Sanchez was Saturday and
Sanchez
Wheeler was Friday. Yeah.
I do want to wax poetic about Chris Sanchez.
He was good, man.
He has his it's early. It's usually early in the games.
Yes.
Like first through third innings, it's like, oh, he's not going to go 5. And
totally did not think he was going to.
He has danced around so many
Yeah, but against the Mets, the immaculate inning that wasn't he loads the bases. He's like, all right, 9 pitches, bang.
But when he gets on when he finds it,
yeah,
he's
nasty.
It's just so fast.
Yeah.
Like the 4th through 7th inning the other day, it was like that was the fastest.
It's like Ranger. It's Ranger-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not as consistent yet.
No. Man, but when he has it, when he's on that roll, it's like bang, 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 bang.
The changeup's just sick. And the most interesting part about Sanchez for me is that he's back up to like 97.
Yeah, it makes such a difference.
I mean, there was an at bat. I forget which scrub little righty hitter for the net. By the way, they have one guy batting over 200?
Yeah. And yet they were around 500.
Well, their pitching staff's good. I'll give them I like their staff.
Mackenzie Gore is good.
He is pretty good.
He's talented.
But Sanchez, this one righty, he went 97. Might have been Meneses. I think it was Meneses. He went 97 on the black. And then it had a 10-mile-an-hour difference with the same arm speed, 97 to 87. That's unhittable. For a hitter, seeing those two back to back, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible to hit. It's impossible. So I'm glad that, because everyone, oh my God, maybe take Sanchez out of the rotation for Turnbull. It's like he's pitching through a 3-2. Like he's pitching to it. Like they're all too good.
Yeah.
They're all too good as starters to be taken out of games.
What a
It's like,
wild thing this
dude,
is.
we deserve this.
We really do.
We deserve
I mean,
this.
think about all the horrendous starters that we have watched over the years.
I mean,
Just
we
over
went
the
through
last decade.
Pettibone. We went through Pettibone, Ethan Martin, like just scrub after scrub, and now it's just. Again, they're must-see TV. You want to tune in and see what starter's going to go next.
Yeah.
And, it's phenomenal.
It's definitely and obviously they're winning every game, but even outside of that, just watching them on a night-to-night basis, just as a baseball fan, it is the most fun team to watch we've had in a really long time. Like it's
because it's not just home runs.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about across the board. They play good defense. They're fun. They like each other. There's everything. The pitching's great. Like there's characters. There's personality. Like there are people who like embrace the moment and like you know what I mean. Like it feels like just a really fun baseball, good fun baseball team to watch. What a thrill, man.
They gotta get it done.
I know,
They just have to get it done. Imagine the release we'll feel. If they win.
It'll be the greatest thing ever.
And because I now, it's so bad, dude. I just watch games. I can't help it.
I can tell you're
it's
like right
almost
here.
Like
every time I bring it up, you just keep going right back there.
because I can't we've seen them win a lot of games before.
I know.
And I'm glad that another generation has been able to experience what a great baseball.
The kids, okay.
I am thinking about the kids
watching this team, being like, "Wow,
what is this, Dad?"
We win every night. This is so cool. Waking up in the morning, did we win last night? And Dad being like, "Yeah, of course we did."
I hope that
That's what we do.
I hope parents with kids under 10 experiencing this for the first time once a week. Once a week. No, well, no. Once a week. I need them just show them September of 2018. It really
don't do that to your
put some hair on their chest.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Don't make them live it. I wish I hadn't lived it.
Show them 19-11.
Yeah.
Show them Vince Velasquez up in Toronto or up in Buffalo.
Colorado. Just show them the Colorado series in 2018 and all move
19-11 should be appointment television for every kid.
Yeah, it should. Yes. You need to really learn what you're in for and why we do this. All right, take back in a sec. Shout out to our account of the week. Today's show is sponsored by Miller Lite and the State Street Pub and Media. Great spot, media. Check out the State Street Pub for every Phillies game and enjoy $4 Miller Lite bottles and pints along with State Street's volcano fries and jalapeno peppers, bacon, and more. You seem like a volcano fries kind of guy.
That seems a little hot for me.
Yeah. Ooh, I see what you did there. Volcano, hot. That was good work. Miller Lites, your Phils win. Celebrate responsibly. All right, what do we got in the take back, Fritzy?
Better assistant coach.
Ooh. Williams.
Caleb Cotham or Jeff Stoutland. One's got to go.
You are going for it.
One's got to go.
Yeah, people aren't going to like the answer, are they? I mean, it's Caleb, right?
No,
I mean, I don't know. It's hard. You're putting up two titans here.
No, I know.
I mean, Jeff Stoutland, they don't like talk about position coaches in the NFL. Like Adam Schefter is tweeting out like Stoutland really likes this guy. It's like, what is happening here?
Because everything with the Eagles is just so dramatic.
I know. I just meant more that no position coach has mattered like Jeff Stoutland does.
No, I know. But yeah, Caleb Cotham, like again, Matt Strahm talking.
So you wouldn't have said that about Vic Fangio because he's a Phillies fan. You went in on Stoutland, but you wouldn't even mess with Vic.
Are we sure Vic Fangio's good?
Wow, that was not. I was excited. I thought you would have Vic's back.
Oh, right.
I thought you were gonna. He's a huge Phillies. I thought you were gonna like be Mr. Vic Fangio. Like, wow, thank God we got him here.
The problem is, WIP brain took over.
I know.
And I was like, well, when was the last time we did top 10 defense? Yeah. But I forgot. No, I forgot.
Yeah. Vic's our guy.
I'm in on Vic.
We love you, Vic.
Yeah,
Vic, come on the pod.
I'm in on Vic.
Yeah, come talk Phillies. We will not ask you one question about football.
Don't even care.
Yeah, none. Zero.
We know.
We won't even. We'll pretend you're like Vic from the Northeast or Vic from South Philly or whatever. You know,
we know that side of the ball doesn't have enough talent right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a bunch. You're right. That is a. I'm gonna give Vic Fangio about as much leeway as possible.
That's what I expected here. That was the moment of disappointment. There.
Yeah,
I'm happy we're back.
We're right back. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, Caleb Cotham. I mean, Strahm's talking yesterday about how like they make sure they added depth to his slider. It's like this is if there was. I mean, again, we deserve a lot, but having a difference-making pitching coach after years and years of freaking Brian Price and remember that dork, Chris Young.
Oh my God!
Could
not stand Chris Young.
His only claim to fame was just throw up in the zone.
Yeah, he was the John Maley of pitching coaches.
Dude, they were horrible.
Yeah.
But Zach Eflin, Zach Eflin, the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, it's like the nicest man. Yeah.
Pretty much boycotting anything that Chris Young told him.
It was nuts.
Which is brutal. But yeah, I mean, Matt Strahm could be an all-star.
Yeah. I mean, literally. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard for middle relievers to be
really
all-stars.
hard.
Yeah.
Because I think
came up
Hoffman
on this show today, Joe was like, how's Strahm not an all-star? I'm like, he's a middle reliever. That's how. Like, closers usually get in.
But him and Hoffman, I believe, are both 0.9 and 0.9.
No big deal.
And if you take out the first weekend of the year,
I know.
hasn't
How
allowed to
insane
run.
is that?
No.
I know. If you just take out those first two Braves games, like, as ridiculous as Phillies numbers look, they'll look that much better. It's insane.
Yep. So, but yeah, I think Strahm's a monster. Hoffman's a monster. But I can't stop thinking about Caleb Cotham and what he's done for, like, the Phillies. We looked at those organizations a couple years ago. It's like, man, look at the Rays.
Totally.
And now the Phillies are one of those teams.
I know. It's all we ever wanted. Honestly, it's hard to, like, I still can't really that part of it. I can believe they're winning games on that. This doing things, smart things, and taking guys and develop, like, it's all surreal to me. It's wonderful. Now, quick question. Why don't pitching coaches become managers? Why is it that, like, when I'm thinking about Caleb Cotham, how great he is, and how young he is, to be as good as he is, and like being like, what's next for that guy? Like, where do you, like, is it,
I know.
Front office, whatever? But I just don't know. Or can he be our pitching coach for the next 30 years? You know what I mean? Like
I thought about that.
It's because they don't. It's so rare that pitching coaches become managers. Like, the only one I remember in recent years, Mickey Callaway became one. It didn't work out.
Bud Black's been.
Bud Black, you're right. Bud Black has been for a while, but it's rare. The point is, you would think you see more pitching coaches move up the chain, so to speak.
Yeah, I guess it's probably viewed as like they don't know the ins and outs of, like a catcher would. Seems like catchers are mostly that. But yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, what's his?
Yeah, what's next?
It's probably coordinator. Like, if he wanted to make him like run a whole
organization,
so
like,
not,
pitching
in the dugout.
Yeah, that would be my thought. But still, it's like, what,
Let's put it this way: pay whatever it takes to make sure he's not allowed to ever leave. I mean, him and Brian Kaplan are monsters.
Yes.
And especially with what they've done with pitcher health.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, the rest of baseball guys are dropping like flies.
They're like, hey, maybe just throw a little bit softer.
Yeah, and especially with, like, it's like not just that, but they're also like leading starters in innings across baseball. Like, they're pitching more innings and staying healthier.
You know what the Phillies are doing? They're pitching.
Like old school baseball.
Like,
what a thought.
They're going deep into games. Oh my god! Like, there's nothing that drives me more crazy than the analytics community figuring out something that people who have played baseball like their entire lives have.
Wow, maybe if you pitch, what is good for you?
What does that mean? By the way, speaking of analytics and new pitches, I need someone on the Phillies to learn the splinker. Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, so the splinker,
yeah,
which is a splitter sinker.
Ooh,
it's sick. So. So Duran with the Twins is the first one who came up with it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I mean, he's nasty, that dude.
Of course. But then Skeens now has developed it.
My guy.
Yeah. And
let me tell you.
Paul Skeens is pretty good.
Owning Paul Skeens in fantasy, it's
pretty good.
It's a thrill.
But the splinker is next.
So
you can have your little sweeper nonsense.
Here's my only question. What are we at? 150 years of baseball or whatever. And, like, let's say, 30 years of, like, high-level technology and 20 years of getting better. How is no one ever... Like, I don't get, like, what do you mean a splinker? Like, no one ever thought, I'll put these two together because we put everything together and figure out, like, how is this new? That's what I don't get. Like, how can anyone come up with a pitch that has not been figured out yet?
Well,
that's what I don't get.
There was a lot of years without the Rapsodo cameras, so I think that, and everyone's just a nerd in baseball. As simple as that.
The point is, someone could have thrown a splinker. They just might not have called it that, and then now it's got a name.
You also have to have sick arm speed to do
Yeah.
it. Like, Paul Skeens is throwing at 96 miles an hour off of 100, and it goes like this.
Yeah.
Like, it just dies on you. So, I don't know. I mean, Wheeler feels like the one this offseason that's going to work on the little splinker.
Why not?
Yeah, just add another pitch.
Add it to why not? Yeah.
That and the Imanaga splitter.
Dude's got a .84 ERA.
I know.
I don't think we've talked enough about it. We've talked about the last line. I was thinking, I would watch a fair amount because there was no other baseball. It was like that in the Yankees game. The Yankees were, winning by like 6 or whatever, 5. So I watched a lot of that game, and, like, dude's really good.
No, he's really good.
Do you think he was 7 shutout either? He's got a .84 ERA in, like, close to 60 innings or something. Like, he's, like, pretty wild what that guy's doing.
Yeah, and
we keep talking about Ranger Cy Young. Like, that guy probably should be throwing in the whole Cy Young thing too.
He might. I mean, he's probably gonna start the All-Star game.
Yeah,
if you had to have someone start it today.
.84 ERA. He's like, his whip is like, a Ranger might be the only one with a better whip than he has an ERA.
Yeah, it's insane. All right, just some things to close out the take back.
Love it.
And this actually goes back to them. I have some thoughts on the Mets series.
Oh, good. Let's go back.
Yeah. I've long had a very.
It was a weird spot to stop after saying that. You were like, I've long. I was like, is that a name? Is that a thing? Got it.
I've long had a very anti Pete Alonso.
We know.
You know how much I dislike Pete Alonso.
Biggest dork on the planet. We've talked.
Not even close.
Yeah.
But.
Oh,
But just saying.
this is sometimes you try too hard with this. Don't.
His walkout song is Revival by Zach Bryan, so I might
Oh,
be in.
you were such a sucker. Like all you got to do is be like, hey man, I listen a lot to Zach Bryan. I love you now.
Yep.
I might have hated you before, but you like Zach Bryan, so we're friends now.
It's why I was in on Lorenzen because he came out to Childers. So
Just listen to country music and you're in on the person. That's it.
But don't listen to the nonsense.
Yeah,
Listen to real country.
Yeah.
So might be in on a Pete Alonso trade.
Oh,
if,
this is a horrible job by you. We have a first baseman. Our best player plays first base. What are we doing here?
You can DH.
What about Schwarber? What's he gonna do? Go
He
back to
can
left
play
field.
left
Okay, good.
Yeah. Or you could put
Wouldn't Alonso DH? I mean,
put-
Harper's already a better defender than Alonso.
Alonso at first, and then Harper back and right.
Oh,
Just kidding.
let's ruin that arm again.
Just kidding.
Great.
But he does walk up to Zach Bryan.
So what?
The
Loser.
the Whit Merrifield check.
Walk up to Fish and then we'll start talking, like Wilson Ramos used to.
The Whit Merrifield check swing was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, it was unbelievable. That was about as clear a swing as you'll see be called a check. Like that happens, a couple times a year. There'll be one where it's like clearly over. That was about as far, like so clearly a swing called the other way as you can possibly say. That was. I did not blame the Mets for being furious.
Well, and all the different announcers being like, "Yeah, and that's
all three calls. It was great.
It's a swing and a miss." Oh my goodness!
That's exactly right. It was like, and he got him there. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was great.
Unbelievable. I could really appreciate. I need Bowman's not getting hit by 98 on the knuckles. If we could.
How about the? Yeah, that was one of those like, yes, the run's good. Oh no, wait, hold on. Oh, he's okay. We're good. Did you see that stat? Ryan Spader, our buddy, tweeted out the stat that Alec Bohm already with 3 hit by pitch for RBIs, most in the history of the Phillies in a season. He is already the leader in a season for hit bats, RBIs.
And he has to be in the leader for bases loaded, getting hit by pitch.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing.
That's the only way.
How could you get an RBI otherwise for the hit by pitch?
Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. How about Schwarber 7 walks in the last 2 games?
Unbelievable.
First time since 1968.
Yeah, Schwarber has had a real strange season.
Well, that every Schwarber season.
I know. It's actually a better start than most. Like, June's around the corner. I'm just saying.
Well, when he starts, this is what he usually does right before June. He starts walking all the time. And then people get mad when I say walks as good as a hit, as a single. And he did score 3 runs yesterday, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think the Schwarber run's coming. Like, when he starts walking like this is, I think he raises on base percentage from like 313 heading into the series to 340 by the end of it.
Wow, that at this point in May, that's a big jump in a series.
Stotter's flirting with 400.
I know. All of a sudden, Stott's like, he's going to have a 900 OPS next week by the time we look up.
I want every righty reliever out there that's pretty good. Obviously, Mason Miller is out there.
Yeah, so they'd have to give up Painter to get Mason Miller.
Yeah.
Right?
So here's my thing about Mason Miller. Mason Miller is more like that'd be really fun. Like if they got him, I wouldn't be super upset. They don't need him. I mean, like they don't need. They can get Ryan Helsley for less. They can get Hunter Harvey for less.
Mason Miller's not getting traded.
Probably not. It's the A's.
It's the A's.
It's the A's.
Yeah.
But like you don't need to give up that much for what the Phillies need. You know what I mean? Like they give up less for Helsley. They give up less for Hunter Harvey. But man, Hunter Harvey is pretty sick. I would like Hunter Harvey on the Phillies.
Is that where you're at now?
Yeah. Well, I just
all these failed starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Look at Hoffman.
I know they all are. I know.
Kopech's the next Hoffman, but
yeah.
if he's here. Crowds, dude. How was yesterday? I was shocked.
Since 2019, I couldn't believe it.
I was like, hold on. Man.
So for those who didn't see it, yesterday's game was the biggest crowd at Citizens, regular season crowd, since 2019. I was shocked by that.
And that had to be that. Was that? Oh, I guess it was June.
They said June 20. Yeah, June 22nd or something like that.
What even was that? Like
I don't know.
The Wheeler start in 19.
Was it
No,
May?
that was 21.
But it was May either way. The
Wheeler start
holiday one are you talking about?
Yeah, on holiday day.
It would have been May. Holiday just happened. I really don't know. It's a great question. I I saw that too, and I was like, and also
Was it the Yankees? Were
can
the
we
Yankees
also
here?
like hold on another thing? Isn't
The
it?
Marlins.
Wow,
I don't know.
that's really weird. Isn't a sellout a sellout? At what point did we start saying like, okay, like shouldn't like they sold out, so it's this many people? I mean, every time, you know what I mean? It's like, is it like that many people like actually go through the door? Is that the idea that like this many people actually showed up for the game and it's but like, isn't there a cap? Like, shouldn't you always, if you're sold out, like, all right, we had 44,800 people in this building today. Because that's how much we can have. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I just don't get. Like, I thought Saturday and Friday were bigger crowds.
Well, it felt like it watching, yeah.
Like, I just.
Sunday's always going to be, though. The Sunday day games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, man, the crowds this last week. Like, I was at the Mets game on Tuesday. And.
Oh, you're at the Mets game on Tuesday. Hanging out, having fun?
Yeah, I was.
That's the rainy one, though.
Yeah, it was the rainy one. Yeah, yeah. So, and it didn't. Like, it wasn't like there was that many people there. It didn't seem like. But, like, the second started getting hits, it was like. Loud, like loud, so special. And then final thing, I know that they already gave out the 08 ring for Rollins' retirement night. But could they choose like anything else besides the 09 ring for Hamill's retirement night?
Yeah, it's
Like,
really
what are
strange.
we doing here?
Yeah, it's a really weird move.
Like
why?
He's arguably the reason we don't have back-to-back.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you giving out an 09 ring?
It's such a weird. You're right. Like I was just thinking about how weird it is to give out a 09 ring. Like, could we not give out a losing ring? Like that's just a weird thing to begin with. But like, of all people, like give it to like Chase, I guess, or something. I don't know. Someone who like had a good series, or someone who did something.
Or
like,
choose something else from 08.
Well, that's the point. Do anything else. Yes, give anything else away. I agree. Give a patch away. It shouldn't be 09, period. But of all people to choose 09, it's like, what do you? Is it almost like a joke? You're like, ha ha, funny, right?
It's just so weird.
That is so weird.
How does
And it's like, I'm flummoxed by this. Like, that is such a strange. Whoever decided that, and then through levels of decisions, like, no one was like, hey guys, can I just bring something up about Cole in 09? Can we just have a quick combo here? Just a moment on what happened in 2000. We remember.
I mean, Cole literally said, "I can't wait for the season to be over."
It was like it was the worst year of his career. Like, what are we doing?
I'm sure even Cole's like,
he's talked about it since. He knows that. Yeah, I'm sure he's just like, wait, really?
"We're gonna win the 09 ring."
Why did someone get the number wrong? Was it supposed to be 08? Did we screw this up?
Give
Just
me-
give out 08 rings again. Like, I don't care. Do it a second
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
It's like the
Really good job.
The 09
This
pennant
is
ring.
why you're you. This is a great job. I can't believe that. That's
It's
really wonderful.
insane.
Yeah. It's insane.
Give out more 08 rings.
It really is insane.
Give
Yeah,
out
give
an
out more.
08 pennant ring.
Yeah,
You
give
can
him
do that,
whatever,
yeah.
anything. Yeah, just give out a picture of Colomo's face. I mean, that'd be better. Yeah, with you. Good work.
And final thing, stop putting Aiden Miller in any fake trades.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing that we're gonna, and we're still a little ways away from the trade deadline, but as it approaches, that's gonna be a real moment. We're gonna have to really police these things, be aware of these things, and honestly, just look out for your mental health.
Yeah.
Rumor.
No Aiden trade
Yeah.
deadline.
Who
date.
do you think if they, I was going to say pick up the newspaper. Whew. If they go online and check out, MLBTradeRumors.com or one of these things and sees Aiden Miller mentioned in the package, who is more bothered by that? You or Aiden Miller?
Me.
I think it's you too.
Me.
I really do think it's you too. Aiden's like, all right, I'll go play somewhere else. You're like, no.
No, because I've already said behind the scenes. Like he's gonna be the next Gunner.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the next Gunner Henderson.
You've attached multiple things to. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Aiden Miller.
Dude, he's gonna be so good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
He's already got an 1,000 OPS. He's batting like 337 in Clearwater.
I'm really happy.
No, Jackson Holiday had a good moment, but there's a new sheriff in town, and he better start learning how to play left field.
There you go.
Because I don't know, you're not moving Trey, you're not moving Stott, Bohm's obviously taking off. Learn left field.
There you go. Okay. Aiden, get on it.
Yeah, get on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that it? We done?
That's it.
All right. We'll be back later in the week. I'm sure the Phillies will win a bunch of games.
Yawn.
How do we even talk about it? Yawn. All right. We'll talk to you guys later in the week.